Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I will be teaching you how to make a more advanced command handler and show you how to make some settings for your commands. If you haven't already, make sure to go watch my first video, first part of this series on how to actually start making your Discord bot. Without watching that video, you can't actually do anything in this video because you need that to actually start the bot. So, if you haven't already, go watch that video and then come back and watch this. I do want to say I made a Discord for coding help, so if you need to, or if you just want to come and talk, you can come join here and talk. Or if you need coding help, you can also have some coding help here. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you if you did, but let's get into it. So first we have this code from our last video already set up. Pretty basic stuff, you know. I do want to add on from yesterday, or not yesterday, last video, that I only showed you message.reply. You can also do message.channel.send, and basically what this does is it will actually send your message into the channel, but what do I have this command set as? Exclamation point high. But it will not ping you with message.channel.send, as you can see. So, without further ado, let's actually get into the sauce of this video. So, what we need to do is first require FS. It is a built-in module, so you do not need to install this. So, we're going to create a constant for it. So, const fs equals require fs. So now we need to do client.commands equals new discord.collection, and this is going to create a new collection with the commands part of client, right? Something like that, in simple terms. So now we are going to create another constant for the actual command names / files, I guess. This will basically go into our command folder and grab the files. So we're going to do const command files equals fs.readersync. Make sure it's fs.readersync and it doesn't autocorrect to something else. Then we're going to do parentheses and then /commands, and then we're going to do .filter, and we're going to filter file and then an arrow function, and then file.ends with JS. So basically what this constant does is it will go into a folder called commands, and it will filter out and only select files that end with JS, so it's only going to select JavaScript files, which is what we are using, obviously. So now we need to create a for of loop, which is a basic thing in JavaScript. If you don't know basic JavaScript, I recommend you learn it. Although it is not needed, I still do recommend it. So we're going to create this with a for const of file. Screwed that up, sorry. Const file of command files. And then you're going to open up parentheses, and we're going to create a command, or a const for command. So we're going to do const command equals require, and then we're going to do parentheses and then backtick, which is the right below your escape button at the top left of your keyboard. And then we're going to do /commands/ and then we're going to create this thing called template literal, which allows you to use a variable inside of a string. So basically what you do is you do the money sign and then brackets, and then we want to do file. So this is going to let us go, this is going to require us to go into the folder and find that file. So now we are ready to set the commands. Yeah. So we're going to do client.commands.set, and then we're going to do command.name, and we're also going to do command. So basically, this is going to set the command name, and it's going to set that folder as that command, right? If that makes any sense to you. So now we are ready to go into our client.on event for message. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to create another variable. This time, we haven't used this yet, we're going to use let. So we're going to do let prefixes equal, and then we're going to do false. So this is using a boolean. A boolean is a true or false data type. Then we are going to create another for of loop. This part, the let prefixes and what we're about to do, is also we can use more than one prefix. So as some bots may have maybe the name of the bot, so I'll just think of something real quick. For my bot, I can do the name of the bot, or I can do the first letter exclamation point, and then that. So it's kind of useful to have more than one. So now we're going to create this for of loop. So again, for of, and this one we are going to again use const. We're going to make this one called const prefix, or this prefix, sorry, and then of, and we're going to be of prefix, right? So now we're going to create some brackets, and now we're going to create an if statement, and this if statement will check if the message.content to lowercase this prefix actually, right? Make sure that is this prefix and not autocorrect is something else. If it does start with that prefix, then we're going to let prefixes equal this prefix. Another thing, there are three variable types. There is let, const, and var. Var and let can be changed. Var is a variable that is used globally. Let is used inside its own space that it is in, and const is a mix between them. Since I mentioned it, I will have a link below going in depth on variables. But again, I recommend trying to learn the basics of JavaScript so you will know all that. But anyways, it changes prefixes from false to this prefix. So now that should allow us to use more than one prefix. Right. So now we're going to check something. So if the message.content.starts with, and again prefixes, make sure that is prefix and then yes. Right. If it does start with this, or now we're going to do the button right below the backspace. If you shift and then click that, you can create these two things. This is the or operator in JavaScript. So either if this happens, or the author is a bot, so message.author to bot, then we're just going to return nothing. So right here, make sure to add your exclamation point before message.content.starts with prefixes. This basically checks that if the message doesn't start with one of your prefixes, or the exclamation point means doesn't, basically. So if it doesn't start with your prefixes, or the author is a bot, then you're going to return nothing and cancel it, so it doesn't actually execute the command. So now we're going to do const args equals message dot content dot slice, and then we're going to do prefixes dot length, and prefixes and dot length actually checks the length of something. And then we're going to trim, so dot trim, if I can actually type. And then we are going to do dot split. And then we're going to do slash space plus slash. And then our args is defined with const. So, or the variable is made. So now we're going to do const command name, and then it will be equal to args, right, args.shift, and then dot to lowercase. Basically what this does is it allows you to take your command name, and it, no matter what, it's going to recognize the command name if it is uppercase or lowercase, basically. So now we're going to create a const for command. So also you may notice there will be some of the same const names, and you can't actually have two usually, but since this is a different event than outside here, we can actually have two of the same names for constants. So we're going to do const command equals client dot commands dot get, and then we're going to get the command name, and then we're going to go a line down. We're going to hit tab, and then we're going to do another or operator, and then we're going to do client dot commands dot find, and then cmd, and then we're going to do an arrow function, and then command dot aliases, and the and operator in JavaScript is two and signs together. Command arrow function, and then command dot aliases, and command dot aliases dot includes command name. Okay, so now we have command defined. Also, another tip in the Visual Studio Code IDE is you can right click, and there is an extension for formatting the document. If you click that, it cleans up your code a little bit, and it makes it a little nicer. So now what we're going to do is we are going to check that if there isn't a command, again, the exclamation point means there isn't, then we are again going to just return nothing. Alright, so now we are ready to actually dive into making our actual execute for our commands. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to clear that, and first I'm going to add a try catch, which will go something like try, and then those curly brackets, and then you want to do command.execute, and then you're going to pass message and args. So, and then down here you want to do our catch part of the try catch, and you're going to catch an error, more curly brackets, and then you're going to do console.error, and then you're going to log an error. We're also going to send a message to that channel with message.channel.send, and that will say something like, there was an error executing the command, right? You can change that, it's up to you. So basically the console.error finds that error and it logs it to the console, so it's just like console.log, right? Okay, so inside this try catch is where we will be using our execute, and basically what the try catch does is just catch errors so we know what errors we're getting if something goes wrong, because we kind of need to know that, right? So now that we are in here, we want to do if and then command equals, and here is where we are going to set up our command list and command files. So first I'm going to create a folder called commands, and you cannot change the name unless you go up here and you change this and this to your folder name. So create this folder called commands, and then in here you can create your commands. For now we won't do that. We're also going to create a file called info.json that is not in that folder. So we're going to, in this file, we're going to open up some curly brackets, and we're going to add a property for all of our command names. So I'm just going to name mine command list, and I'm going to create an array. And also, just to let you know, inside of JSON, you can only use these double quotes. So we'll wait for now until we have our command to actually put the command name in there. While we're at it, we're also going to add our prefix. So to do that, we're just going to do prefix in our config file, and here you can either do one prefix like this, or if you want more than one, you can create an array, and we can do something like this where I have exclamation point, maybe whatever that is, dash, and I can keep going on and on. But we're going to have that. We're also going to come up here to where we had our const for config. We're going to change the name. We're going to delete config, then we're going to make some curly brackets. And now we're going to do prefix and then comma token. Basically, and then we're also going to need to change our client.login to just only token and not config.token. Basically what this does is it requires our config file, but this time it only pulls out prefix and token. It's just an easier way, so you don't have two consts, you can just use it all in one, and you could keep going with different property names if you had more in there. But now we're also going to create another const for command list, and this will require our /info.json, so we can go in and take our command list out. So now we're going to check if our command matches command.list. Then we're going to do command.execute, and then we're going to pass message and args, as these are some of the only things we will really need to pass for now. Let's create a command first. So I'll create a simple command, let's say ping.js. So let's actually move this into the command folder. And basically, for every command file, what you're going to have to do is, at the top, module.exports equals curly brackets, and here we will be able to have more settings for the command in the next section of the video, but for now we're just going to do name, which is a string, property, so we're just going to say ping. And we also have description, so let's say ping the bot. Right, something simple. Now we need to have another comma there, and then we're going to do our execute. So we're going to execute message and args. Then we're going to come out here and we're going to open it up with some curly brackets. So here's where you'll actually put your code, is inside this execute. So for now, just for test, we'll just message channel send pong, something simple. So now that we have this, we're going to go into our info.json and we're going to say, hey, we have a command called ping. So now we should be fully ready to actually use this command handler. So let's start our bot up with node space dot. Now the prefixes we are using is exclamation point, this thing, and dash. So let's do exclamation point ping, and it says pong back. So we can also do this thing, ping works, and dash ping. As you can see, all of these prefixes actually work. So now we are ready to add some actual command settings, right? So first we are going to set up something where it requires you to actually have arguments. This setting can be obviously be turned on and off, but if you require it and the user does not send args, which we actually haven't learned yet, but I will be teaching you minimalistic arguments in this video just so I can show you this. But the first thing we are going to do for this setting is we're going to come down below this if command, and we are going to make another if statement. So if command.args, and then we're going to use our and operator, and then there's not a length. So if there are args but there is not an args length, so basically if there is not args, we are going to message channel.send, and let's just say, let's actually use backticks for this so we can use template literals, and then we're just going to say something like you didn't let's say provide any arguments, and then we're just going to mention them with a template literal. I have already mentioned template literals. So now how about message.author? Okay, so now we have set up this args thing. Now we are going to add a usage, and basically what the usage is you can look up the usage with a command that we will make later in this video, and basically you will be able to see how the command works and the usage of it. Yeah, so we're going to do if command.usage, then we are going to do, actually first we need to define our reply for this. So let's just say let reply equal, and then we're actually just going to use the same thing as our args reply. And then do that. So we're basically using let here. Real quick, there are three variable types in JavaScript. You have var, let, and const. Only var and let can be changed, and var is less used for certain reasons I'm not going to get into, so we're just going to use let here for better practice, so we can change this later. But now we're going to do reply plus equals, so this is going to add something to the string we have for reply, but also make reply equal something new. So it's going to be equal to this plus what we're going to add right now. So we're going to do more backticks, and then we're going to do /n, which is going a line down, entering, and then we're going to do something like the proper usage for this command would be, and then we're just going to do another template literal prefix, and then we're going to do another one, command.name, and then we are going to do another one, which is our command.usage. So, and now we have that message for reply if usage is true, or actually if it's defined in a string. So then we are also going to want to return message channel.send reply. We actually don't need the return, but I'm going to add it. Alright, so now we have our usage and we have our args. So real quick to show you how those works, we're going to go in our ping file. Actually that's 2 S's there. But so how this works is, first I'll check out args. So if we do args, this is a boolean. It should show it here. So we're going to say true. So if args is true, then it will send that message if you do not send an arg. The reply we just made. And we also made our usage, so for usage we are going to use a string, and for that we are going to just say prefix. How about that? That works. Make sure to add a comma so it can get down to the execute. So if we want to test this out with no dot, we can go in here, and basically if we don't have an arg, let's just say we do. Something went wrong. Message is not defined. Alright, we misspelled both of those. We misspelled this message and message here. We only had one S, so in coding, small things can always mess up a lot. That's a bad example, but at the same time not. So, okay, what's actually going on here is, since we have usage and args true, it's actually telling us both messages, which is actually correct. So you can take one out, like basically if you're using usage you can just take args off. So yeah, so I'm actually going to take usage and args off because we really don't need them right now. So now we're going to do one final thing until a later video, when we will in a later video we will discuss cooldown, because that will take a long time to actually code, and we don't have enough time in this video. But this one is called a guild only command. So if command.guild only, so if command.guild only, which is what the property will be in the actual ping file or our command files, and message.channel dot type equals dm. Then we are going to open up some brackets, and we are just going to reply to this person. So I use this command side DMs. Right, something like that. Also, what I'm doing here with these backslashes is, since I already have a one normal tick, if this slash cancels out this tick and uses it as normal text. If I didn't do that, it would end the string and it would just get messed up. So I have to do that 2 times here. So I'm actually going to make this U. Alright, so it's going to send that if guild only is true and you try to execute the command inside DMs. So just to show that, if we do guild only, which is boolean again, which is a data type in JavaScript, and it is true or false. So we're going to say true. What will happen here? If we reboot our bot up again, is if we try to execute it inside the bot's DMs. So let's say if we try to say ping inside its DMs, then it's going to say you can't use this command inside DMs. Let's also add a return, so this actually doesn't execute the command. So now, again, ping, and there, it doesn't actually execute the command with our return. So now let's get into setting up some commands. Okay, so now I'll be showing you how to create a actual ping command that actually gives real ping. So what we're going is, let's create a constant for normal ping, and that will equal to date dot now. Make sure that minus message dot created timestamp, and then down here, I just made this real quick. We're going to do in bold ping, and then we're going to create our template literal, and then we're going to use our normal ping variable, and then ms, which stands for milliseconds. So this should work and give you your ping. So we're going to boot the bot back up, and when we do our ping command, we get our ping. So what you can actually do, for example, is to make this just look nicer, we're going to use this method again to cancel out, and we're going to do backticks on our ping number, Control C, and then dot bot is online, and again, if we do ping, now it looks nicer. So we're getting 1033 milliseconds. So that is how you make a ping command. Okay, so now I will be showing you how to use args. So I'm gonna name this file args .js, and again we're going to do module.exports equals, and then name args description, and then I'm just going to run our execute. There we go. execute message in args. Alright, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some simple argument systems. So a simple one we can do is we can just send the first word that you are saying like this. So basically what this does is an argument is the user input. So when you say args, the first word you're going to say, which another coding thing, almost all languages start at 0 instead of 1. So this will be the first word. 0 is the first word. This is going to send the first word that we say after args. So we're going to do that. Control C, go dot. And now, actually, let's add our args to our info.json. And now we are ready. So we do this, and now we can do args hello. Now it should send hello. Yep. Alright. So another thing we can do is actually send everything we're saying. So usually if you were to just put args, it would send every word you're saying, but it separates every word with a comma. To fix this, we're going to create a constant to change that. So I'm going to name mine full message, and it's going to equal to args.join, and then parentheses, and then we're just going to join a space. And now we will change this to full. Now, if we turn the bot on, it should say exactly after args. So let's say and like and subscribe. Anyways, it sends all of your args. Thank you guys for watching this video. This video actually took quite a bit of time, probably around 2 hours, plus that's not including editing. So it would be a big thanks if you did like and subscribe. I know that's kind of repetitive, this video, I'm sorry about that, but I would really appreciate that, as I'm putting quite a bit of time into this. So if you want to see more videos like this, comment down below some recommendations on what videos you want me to make. I will probably be posting again in 1 to 3 days, so tomorrow or like 3 days from now. Big thanks to my helper, Drip. His socials are in the description. And remember, I do have a coding Discord that will be linked below. So if you need any help, make sure to join it, and I can help you with that. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.